This video is brought to you by Caroline, who asked for stances. So let's go over all of our stances for your test. All right, so I'm going to do them from both angles. I'll start from behind. So following along with me, we're in our attention stance. We're going to step back to our forward bow stance. When we do that, we're going to make sure we step back on a diagonal. So as we step back, we end with our feet as wide as our shoulders. We don't want to step straight back. That's going to make us too narrow and not give us any stability. And stances have one job and one job only: to make us stable. All right, so forward bow stance, turning on the balls of our feet, pivoting neutral bow. When we're in a neutral bow, our weight is even, our feet are pointed to the corners. Reverse bow, now we are pointed to the back 45. So on our clock face, that would be at 4:30. Now, we still want to keep our eyes at 12 o'clock though, because that's where the bad guy is. So hands are up to 12 o'clock, eyes are up to 12 o'clock. Now from there, we're going to drop down into a close kneeling stance. So we just pick up our back heel and go halfway down. Reverse bow, close kneel, reverse bow, close kneel, reverse bow, back to our neutral bow. Now from a neutral bow, when we drop down and collapse it, we end up in a wide kneeling stance. So neutral bow, wide kneel, neutral, wide kneel, neutral. When you drop, do not stick out your tushy, because when your tushy sticks out on one side, you're off balance and your nose sticks out on the other side. So make sure you keep those hips pushed forward. So horse stance, wide kneel, horse, wide kneel, horse. Forward bow, close kneel, forward bow, close kneel, forward bow, neutral bow. Now, from a neutral bow, when we're in a neutral, we're on a diagonal. So if we put our hands out, they're kind of pointed at 11 and 5, 10:30 and 4:30, somewhere between there. So when we shift to a side horse, we always move our back foot when we shift from our neutral to a side horse, unless we're moving our front foot for a specific reason. So it's always our back foot unless we're moving our front foot for a specific reason, maybe to hit the guy with a spinning rear kick or something. All right, so you'll notice my hands are pointed at the diagonal, but once I shift to a side horse, now they're pointed at 12 and 6, and my feet, toes are exactly even. All right, so a side horse stance is also called a toe-to-toe stance, whereas a neutral bow is called a heel-to-toe stance, because your back heel and your front toe are kind of on the same imaginary line, maybe a little wider. Okay, so side horse, all the way sideways, toes are pointed at the side, neutral bow on the diagonal, feet are pointed at the corner. Next, cat stance. We always cat back with our front foot. Okay, when we do our back foot, we do what's called a V-step. So we'll talk about that a little later. But right now, we want to step back into our cat. So we bring our front foot back. And then we lift up into our crane stance. And then back down into our cat stance. And then back to our neutral bow. And from there, we can twist it into our twist stance. Now, when you do your twist stance, make sure you don't over-rotate that back foot. Your front foot, your toes are pointing at that wall, but your back foot, your toes are pointing at that wall. But what you did was, you switched your shoulders. In a neutral bow, my front shoulder, in this case my left shoulder, is pointed at the bad guy. When I twist, now my right shoulder is pointed at the bad guy. All right, twist, return, twist, return. All right, let me do that this way now. And we're going to work mirror image. So, attention stance, right side back in a forward bow, hands up in defensive position, close kneeling stance, forward bow, neutral bow. Pick up your back heel, keep those hips forward, wide kneeling stance, neutral bow, reverse bow. Hands stay up, see I'm still facing you even though my body turned the other way. Close kneeling stance, reverse bow, neutral bow. Side horse stance, back to your neutral, side horse, back to your neutral. Cat stance, crane stance, cat stance, neutral bow, twist stance. You'll notice my shoulder switched, and now what was my back arm is now my front arm. All right, don't over rotate that back foot. And back to your neutral. All right, Caroline, work on those for your test, and I'll see you later.